Are you a new parent, an expecting parent, or maybe you've even been a parent for a while and you're feeling overwhelmed with all the changes that you've been experiencing as a new parent? And you know you need and you really want help, but you're not even sure what to ask for. So I'm Catherine O'Brien at happywithbaby.com, and that's why I put together this postpartum support matrix along with my home life management spreadsheet. And the video today that this is going to be about is my postpartum support matrix, so that you and your partner can explore together and identify the areas where you're both struggling and maybe the areas where you can get a little bit more help. And stay tuned, because I'll also be shooting a video about my home life management spreadsheet as well, and that will be coming up soon. So let's take a look at my postpartum support matrix. Here, I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. So here's my postpartum support matrix. And as you can see, there's 4 squares. That's the matrix. And on the left here are the items, on the left side are the items that are more replenishing, and the ones on the right can tend to be more draining for us. And so if you and your partner are both filling this out, you might have totally different things in each of the squares, and that's totally fine. It can actually be helpful in determining what things that you can be doing and what things they can be doing, and then what things that you either need to delegate out or ask for help. Okay, and so then the items on the bottom are kind of like the no-brainer. They're easy to do, easy to delegate maybe. And then the other ones on top are the things that are definitely a lot harder to give up control. And so depending on our personality, sometimes we might have more things that are harder to give up or harder to delegate, but that's okay too. So let's look at this first box, the white box here, the white box here. And it's these are things that are hard to delegate, but maybe they're fun and maybe they're easy for me. So the examples we have here are breastfeeding, and maybe that is not fun for you. That might be, in yellow or pink as well. Like maybe you're really struggling. That's an area, and that's okay. Nobody has the same answers in each box, from what I find. Or maybe like I have loading the dishwasher the right way. Like some people I've talked to, like they have a certain way they like to do things. So having other people do them for them is almost more frustrating or more overwhelming, because it's just so frustrating to see things not in the order they want to be. But this might also be the time that you look at those things and decide, you know what, I can let that go. It doesn't have to be that way right now. And especially if you're in the early stages and you just had your baby, like let some of those things go. You can get back to the normal and the way you like them now. But if you can get some extra help and the things get done, maybe try to decide like, okay, like I can let this go right now. Like maybe I could have gotten 10 more dishes in the dishwasher, but I didn't have to load it and I didn't have to wash them. So I'll just let that go. And this is really helpful because it can, as a new mom or a new dad, kind of help you explore and identify what your new role is as a parent. What are the things that you want to be doing? Or, maybe some things that you aren't sure of. So make sure when you're filling out this box that if it's overloaded, like everything's in that box maybe, is So one of the things, if you're finding that everything's in that box, you really should probably try to let go and delegate some of those things, relinquish some of the control, even, like I said, if it's just for a brief period of time, okay? So then let's look at box number 2. It's the blue box, and these are the easy to delegate, they're fun and easy for you. Some examples might be letting a friend watch your baby so that you can take a nap or shower. Now that's easy for some people, but it's definitely not easy for everybody. I know some people that really struggle to have anyone watch their baby, especially early on. Or it could be asking your partner to change the next diaper. Again, I know some people struggle with that. Especially if the baby can get kind of fussy and they feel like they want to go in and take control and do themselves. These are definitely things, to step back and say, let them also try to figure out what they need to do. But But this is also usually the box that is a good place to kind of start with delegating things. They can be the things that you're okay letting other people do, because maybe you don't care what the dishwasher looks like when people put the dishes in. So you're like, yeah, go ahead and fill the dishes or the dishwasher for me, or go ahead and wash the dishes, or go ahead and fold my laundry. I don't have a specific way I do. I fold my clothes. I don't care, as long as they're clean and folded and I don't have to do it, then I don't care what it looks like. That could be you. So it's definitely different for everybody. And these kind of might seem like small or insignificant things, but they can really add up when you're also, taking care of your baby, and you have to feed your baby, and there's a lot more needs, and you're exhausted and stuff like that. And I find that we tend to move slower and everything. These are definitely easy things to just get off your to-do list that you won't have to do, and don't have to hold them all inside. And it's one of those things, I have all these things on my list and I don't even know where to start. These can be those things that are easy to start and get that support. And also can help you feel connected, because people like to help us too, right? And so you've probably had people ask oh, let me know what you need me to do. Well, these are those things that you can let people do for you. I always encourage my couples that I work with when I do my workshops is, create a list of all the things you're okay having people do. And when they come over or when they call you and they say, hey, how can I help you? And you're not sure, or maybe you struggle to ask for help, you can say, well, this is my list of to-dos. Is there anything on here you're okay helping me with? Or is there anything, would you mind doing any of these items? And, a lot of times it'll just be yeah, let me know, what is it? So, and they'll just start checking them off for you, and you might end up with no list by the time they're done. So definitely let people know they want to help you. And this can be a good place to start with that, especially if we struggle more. And I know I work with a lot of moms that we really struggle asking for help. But also I think we need to listen when somebody says, oh, what can I do to help you? Is to say, oh, this is what I need help with, so when they ask you, give them something. And I know it can be hard. And so if we kind of have that list together ready to go, it can make it easier. So we don't have to think about it, right? Because we're exhausted. And I always call it they call it decision fatigue. I always think about that as that overwhelmed fatigue. I can't even think what I need. So that's a good place to start there in that blue box. So then box number 3 is the pink box. And these are the easy to delegate, but they're challenging and they're not fun for you. So this can be maybe grocery shopping or errands. It could be folding laundry. It could be, managing appointments. And these are the things that sometimes it can be easy. You can find some technology to do them. This could be where you do automatic bill pay, or you can set up your grocery shopping list and then you just order them and have them delivered, or you go and you pick them up at the grocery store. I just did a video recently on a app that I love, and it's called eMeals, and it gives you recipes, and you can choose your meals for the week, and then it makes your shopping list, and either you can go shopping with that list, or you can go and order through Instacart. And so this would be good where you could send your shopping list to a friend or a family member, and they could do the shopping for you, or you could have it for your partner, and then they know what to buy at the grocery store. It's very specific. And then, you come home and someone can put the groceries away or whatever. That could be an easy way to do it. And so sometimes these things might cost a little bit more money to manage, but in the long run, they could save a lot more time, could alleviate some stress. And then plus it's things that aren't fun to do, or maybe you can even trade services or something with another friend. If they're hey, we're going to the grocery store, great, they pick up your groceries, you're running errands at Target or something, and you pick up stuff for them, sometimes that could be a helpful way to, or, you have your, a family member or friend come over and fold that laundry or that type of thing. So definitely if you're feeling overwhelmed, let's get some of these things that are on this list off your chart, so let's get some of these things off your list so that it can definitely decrease your overwhelmed. So, all right. So then the yellow box. Now this is definitely probably where the more difficult things come in. And these are really hard things to delegate because you have to do them, but then they're also not fun for you. So this is, again, where like breastfeeding can be like, it's not easy for everybody, right? There's challenging aspects of it. Or maybe you're struggling with postpartum depression or postpartum anxiety, or maybe you have had a traumatic birth, or you had a C-section, or you're just having difficulties like even getting out of the house, like figuring out like how to like care for your baby and do all the things that you need to do. Now, we definitely need to troubleshoot these challenges because we have to figure out like how to get them done and how to deal with them, because if they go untreated or untaken care of, can just create and cause more struggles for yourself, but in your relationship, and more so. So we definitely need to figure out what those solutions are. And these are typically, the things in this box are typically not the things that are solved by someone folding your laundry, right? Like these are things that you have to take care of, you and your partner have to do together, and you need extra support to manage them. So do you need to call a lactation consultant or visit, a La Leche League group? Usually there's some in the areas, or maybe you need to give yourself permission to use a bottle or pump or whatever it is and get that support around there. Or if you're struggling with postpartum depression, do you need to talk to your doctor? Do you need to get a referral to see a therapist? One of the best resources out there is postpartum.net, which is the website to Postpartum Support International, and they have volunteers around the world that will help. Hopefully there's one in your area. If there's not, there's definitely volunteers to help you find the resources or support that you need. And they do have a lot of online services. So definitely check them out if you're definitely struggling. You're like, this is not what I thought parenthood would be, because both moms and dads can struggle with postpartum depression, anxiety, OCD, postpartum stress disorder. I'm sorry, not postpartum stress. Post-traumatic stress disorder if you had a traumatic birth, postpartum psychosis. So definitely those are things you don't want to wait to get the help. Those need to be taken care of. And the sooner you get help, the sooner you can start feeling better and getting to what's important, right? And so definitely we need to be taking care of ourselves, our relationship, and our baby. So managing that definitely will help you get back to it. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope you can use this as a guide to figuring out where you can start asking for some help. I'd love to hear what you have used, if you've used the matrix, and how it's helped you in your relationship, in your family. And, maybe there's an area you're like, oh, I'm really struggling with. I wish you would talk more about this. Let me know, because I'd be happy to do more in depth and talk more about where to get support or some things you can do to kind of manage that. And then I also want you to stay tuned for my video on my, and I want you to also stay tuned for my home life management spreadsheet video that I'll be doing, because this will kind of help break down some of these things and start looking at how we can delegate them, and how we can start managing all the things that we have to do. Because I feel like prior to having a baby, things are easier because we kind of can get things done, and nothing technically gets in the way. And not that the baby gets in the way, but just that it can be more challenging to find the time and find the ways to do it. So that's what that spreadsheet will be about. And so we'll talk more about that. But you can download both the items from my website now. You don't have to wait for So if you're a local Sacramento area mom, I want to let you know that I'm getting ready to start my next therapy group for moms. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling really unsure about your role as a mom, and if you're looking and yearning for community, I want you to give us a call. Please send us a message at admin, ADMIN, at happywithbaby.com, or you can call our office at 916-718-9501 and press extension 2, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you have and see if this might be a good fit for you. So until next time, you guys, take care.